When you apply for a master's program in some universities, not all. Last year, I think we had just two, but this year, like there are other universities that are doing this exemption thing from more countries, like Cameroon, like Ghana, like Nigeria, like Kenya, like Uganda, so many. So make sure that you are applying for a program in a university that has this in place. Okay. So if you're applying for a master's program and you've studied entirely in English during your bachelor's degree, then you're eligible to apply without the International English Language Test. How do you go about it? Where in the application form, okay, so I'm talking about the application form. There's a video on how to fill the application form with me. If this is your first time here, go back. It's here on my channel and you can see what I'm talking about. Where they ask for language requirement, there are different options. You have the IELTS option, you have you having a bachelor or master's degree or doctorate degree in Finland. You have the option of having a master's, bachelor or doctorate degree outside Finland. You have the option of you using your previous degree to prove your English. So when you click on that, they are going to ask you to submit documents like your transcript of records and your certificate. And if it is not written on your transcript of records that this program was conducted entirely in English, what you can also do is go back to your university and ask them to just write a one-page document stating that you studied here, you studied this program entirely in English. That's all you need. I'll take it again. So if you've had a bachelor's degree in your home country in English, all you need to do is submit your transcript of records and your certificate. If it is written there on your certificate or transcript of records that this program was done entirely in English, then you don't need any additional document to prove your English skills. That is okay. But if it is not written on your transcript of records or your certificate that this particular program was done entirely in English, you can go ahead and ask your university to give you a written document stamped stating that this particular program that you've done was entirely in English, and you add it and submit as attachment to your application. That way, you are good to go. You've been exempted from taking the International English Language Test. So that's one way you can apply, move to Finland as a student without necessarily taking the IELTS or TOEFL test. The other way you can do this is if you are applying for a bachelor's degree and you are ready to do the SAT test, or you've done the SAT test and the SAT test is still is not expired, then you can use it to apply for a bachelor's degree. The other thing with the SAT test is that if you're applying for a bachelor's degree in schools like I know Hagahelia University of Applied Science, you don't even have to take the entrance exam if you have the SAT test, SAT. Okay, so if you don't have the SAT test, or if during your secondary school, upper secondary school, if you didn't write the IB, that's International Baccalaureate, then you need the IELTS. So if you are from an international school and you took this IB exam, then you don't have to prove your English language qualification or requirement. Okay, so these are the different ways through which you can bypass the IELTS. So if you're already in Finland and you've studied in Finland, maybe bachelor or master's, you don't also need to write the IELTS exam, both when you're applying for bachelor or master's. So if you have studied in Finland, but if you're coming from outside the EU, outside Finland, outside these other countries like Australia, Canada, UK, then you will need the International English Language Test if you're applying for a bachelor program. So what I'm trying to say is, for those of you applying for a master's, you stand a chance applying for a program without the IELTS, but with bachelor's it's so tight. Now, I will keep talking about this. I've talked about this on my channel, that if you're applying for a master, if you've already had a bachelor's degree, I will advise you to go for a master's degree for different reasons.